KGP Beats.
Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. Mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
I know it's a lot to digest, but that doesn't mean you should digress. Stay on the studies, knowledge is power. As man thinketh, so is he. Be a lot in man, G-O-D. Generator, operator, destroyer. Hold up, give it a chance before you throw in the towel and call it quits. Take time to think what the Prophet Drew Ali did. He bankrupted the U.S. so you could be free. Brought back El-Bay, Al-Day, and Ali. He brought back civilization, found his mainframe. Not only in appearance, but an abstract strain. Brought back the constitutional fold again. I know pigs got guns, just maintain. Put the guns down. Have you lost your brain? They got nukes, tanks, and drone bomber planes. Yeah, black power, but RBG, a Moroccan flag colors. Can't you see? I know your sight is going, but you're not blind yet. It's all in your mind anyway, so don't mind threats. Life is too short. Not talking to rap pimp, calling yourself nigga when that's a chimp. Cave dweller, hey fella, a monkey is who you think you are, you stupid junkie. High off ignorance and ignorance. From sheets warning you of King Alfred plans. It's not about being in courts, but make them hear you. Declare your nationality, don't let them scare you.
Yo, the time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind
50 posts a day of brutality on Facebook. I know it's a lot, I still say study law books. Cause uniform pigs, wolves with badges creep. Ready to sink teeth in cause you act like sheep. Passive and docile, needing a shepherd. And the one you choose got rooms with flush check it. Compass and square sigils with a G in the middle. Have masses follow them like he's playing a fiddle. Have masses follow them cause masses scared shitless. Stay witless but post a world star when they bear witness. Always waiting for the rights from civil strictness. All your black leaders are on King Alfred hit list. Dirty Moors smelling like they got shit dipped. Picture for Aquarian age, make them switch hit. Like when I found 2 ounces and did a quick flip. From black to Moorish, American give devil split lips. Men walking with slit pupils and lipless. Talking my language like this is Genesis. I used to be one of society's menaces. Acting devilish makes me shake my head every time I reminisce about the past. Living fast at night, no days. Full ahead of ways and low throw days. I know those days won't be coming back again. Change is good, but I still beg no friend.
The time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting. I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
Conscious coons trying to school me with limited knowledge. Taught to them by overseers from Master's College. 5 G's a year, I call that robbage and racketeering. Mental slave boats got mine stacked to the ceiling with info and data. Too many more haters. Dissing the Moors birthright is dissing yours, player. Conscious coons chasing MCA fiat paper. Not to be mean, but pyramid schemes for later. Grabbing at your attention like air and don't care. Looking at a computer screen with a dead blank stare. I'm the Moorish MC, no pranks here. If you're too punk to be a Moor, just stand fair. If you scared to die, you better throw in the towel. A lot of black African groups, movements are vowel. Bow well, they say Moors, but they talking black shit. That's still brown, I think you brains in backwards. Common sense broke his neck from a backflip. Some knowledge people get is like a crack epidemic. Nothing but denial. When I call up a Moor, they don't even watch the German Moors class with Moor and Bay. Didn't watch Moorish connection to hip-hop. NBA nigga slaves got youths in flip-flops and minus degrees like he's Bosch in Miami Beach. So hungry with money and fronts in his teeth. Of lab weed or chemicals he always reeks. Not saved by the bell, punk a rap and screech. MC Captain teach, the same boys on Backstreet. Get in the booth, run through beats like track meets. I call Nia KTS and calling out as witness. Moorish MC, when I rap I spit gifts. Rapping blood clot dummies are on my hit list. Blowing flowing through the air. No kush, just natural mystics. I stay lawful, they want me legalistic. I'm on the corner schooling young gods you call mystics.
Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
KGP Beats.
Said black means death, but y'all blind and deaf and can't read truth you can't find. Mitch Drew Ali lessons waiting for Jesus. Teaching lies as competence, nigga doesn't mean niggas. More doesn't mean black, it means more bite. And high priest of a new, holding the marvelous light. 7 orbs in our palm, we are ancients returned. From the line of roots, skin looks like brass burned. Hair looks like Zoroaster, face of an old neck. Sundial is my watch, FOA trip your Rolex. Major not minority, no clicking heels like Dorothy. Flames on a straw man, no joining their sorority. Great Seal is not Illuminati but Moorish. Disrespect Moors and we might get boorish. We're in our own land fam, don't call me a tourist. I use the floor more, fine tuning my auras. Let them know that I'm back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that I'm back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth.
Get your foot up off my ottoman. Empire built for an Ottoman. Never mix me up for them Ottoman. I'm writing with an iron pen. Good life and not a gym. Born in an empire, not a sin. Moorish American, round table, Moorish ordering. I am feminine and masculine. Principle, rights inalienable. So I'm able. Now Cain wants to kill me. Biblical. My brotherhood pretends to be brotherly. Try to put me back in slavery. Confederate flags under my cherry tree. Washington cut it down, but Washington is still in me. Moors, yo, I speak the tongue, uplift the blind, the deaf, the dumb, and everything is mine, use some. Legislative act, municipal outcomes. Animal farm, I see the reruns. Nation never cared for a president. Trudeau in a turban, that's evident. Major not minor, that's permanent.
Let them know that I'm back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that I'm back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth.
You follow me? So, do y'all research. I don't need you to follow Sabir Bay. I'm going to have some more pissed off at me, too. I don't give a goddamn. So, let me share something. Shout out to my brother Cheyenne. And I told y'all before, please share these videos out. And the crazy part about it, I see a lot of these people watch my videos because I know their tags, right? So, my brother Cheyenne sent me this post that he sent it to Amor. He said, this dude said, don't fucking send me Sabir Bay. Don't fucking send me F-U-C-K. I can't make it. I'm going to show you this. So he said, hold up. He said, what's up with your language? My brother Cheyenne. And I hope Cheyenne comes on the feed. He said, cuz you sent me fuckboy Sabir. I don't fuck with Sabir. That's why. He said he ain't got a DC. He sent you the video. So I want y'all to see how these Moors are because I'm pissing them off and I want to piss them off. And I seen this brother on my feed. That's Kudjo from up in Canada. So
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quickies. Wait a second. Is this technically a Common Sense Quickie? Let's see. The video is addressing some common sense stuff. Check. But it is addressing specific Moors, which is not really within the realm of a common sense quickie. Well, we actually did a common sense quickie addressing this same Moor when he said nonsense about the Moroccan Empire being gone since the 1800s. That was in Common Sense Quickie number 30, titled Present Moroccan Empire. So far, technically, we are still within the realm of a Common Sense Quickie. Check. All right. Well, what about the length of this video? For a Common Sense Quickie, it has to be 10 minutes or under. Man, just over 14 minutes. Well, looks like we have to pull in Audible. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Longing. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try? So, according to the Gregorian calendar, it is the year 2020. And can you believe it? There are Moors that still think the United States of America is America.
You big dummy.
I mean, dang. So, in order to quell this nonsense once and for all, let's take it back to grade 4 geography class.
Hi, boys and girls. Today we will learn basic geography. So first off, let's find America on a map. Do you know what a map is, girls and boys? A map is where you find out where countries and continents are. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? So, boys and girls, do you know what a continent is? Well, a basic description of a continent would be a big piece of land that has many different countries in it. And all the continents in the world begin with the letter A. You have Australia, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, and America. Cool, right? Now, some people say that Europe is a continent, but when I was growing up, it wasn't a continent. So we will not count it as a continent for this lesson. Alright, now here is something really cool, children. When we go to the continent America, it is broken down into 3 parts. You have North America, Central America, and South America. Cool, huh? But when you look at it on a map, you only see North America and South America. Wanna see? So here is a map, and here is North America and South America. And here is North America on a globe. Now let's check another map, just in case something was wrong with the first map. Looks the same to me. And on another globe, it also looks the same. Isn't that awesome? Alright, so let's focus on North America for this lesson. At North America, you have 3 different countries. You have Canada, the United States, and Mexico. So the blue part that you see, that's Canada. And the green part, that's the United States. And the orange part, that's Mexico. Do you understand? Let's do it once again. So So the blue part that you see, that's Canada. And the green part, that's the United States. And the orange part, that's Mexico. Simple, isn't it? Let's do it one more time, just to make sure. So the blue part that you see, that's Canada. And the green part, that's the United States. And the orange part, that's Mexico. Got it? Awesome. Hey children, do you want to hear something really funny? There are actually grown-ups that think the United States is America. Isn't that silly? But now that you have seen on a map that America is a continent and not a country, that makes you smarter than those grown-ups, right? Hey, you know what we call those grown-ups?
Big dummy.
Anyway, children, that is your basic grade 4 geography lesson for today. See you next time.
So now that we have sent the children off, let's deal with the Prophet's literature. Interesting how these same Moors that say Canaanland Moors are quote-unquote Moorish Canadian and not Moorish American, and that, quote, Canaanland Moors want to be American so bad, end quote, are the same Moors always saying that they teach what Prophet Noble Jew Ali brought, and they are for unity. The thing that boggles my mind is that these Moors fail to realize 3 obvious things. Number 1, we all pretty much have the same Circle 7 Quran. Number 2, we can all read. And number 3, chapter 47 is the same in all Circle 7 Qurans. So, the obvious thing to do is to go to chapter 47 and read what Prophet Noble Jew Ali wrote about our ancestral estate. Chapter 47, section 6 reads, "The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes." Section 7. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the Great Earthquake, which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean. So, question number 1. If, according to Prophet Noble Jew Ali, our ancestral estate is North, South, and Central America, including Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, where does quote-unquote Moorish Canadian come in? Question number 2. Was the country quote-unquote Canada around from since before the land split and the Atlantic Ocean was created? Now let's take it to the 101 or 102 Quran questions for Moorish Americans, questions number 13 and 14. Question number 13. What is your nationality? Answer, Moorish American. Question number 14. Why are we Moorish Americans? Answer, because we are descendants of Moroccans born in America. So number 13 says our nationality is Moorish American. And number 14 says why we are Moorish American. So please show us where in there does it say anything about Moorish Canadian. Now let's go to numbers 19 through 21. Number 19. What kind of flag is the Moorish? Answer. It is the red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. Number 20. What do the 5 points represent? Answer. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Number 21. How old is our flag? Answer. It is over 10,000 years old. So if our flag is over 10,000 years old, is the country of quote-unquote Canada 10,000 years old? Even better, is the United States 10,000 years old? Did the present borders of the United States exist 10,000 years ago? Did the present borders of Mexico exist 10,000 years ago? So where are you getting this quote-unquote Moorish Canadian thing from? What the hell are you talking about? You keep saying that you only deal with the Prophet's literature and, quote, you are bringing what Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought, end quote, but we have the same literature and we can read. And we know basic geography. So you are blatantly going against chapter 47 in the Circle 7 Quran, and you are blatantly going against the 101 questionnaire when you fabricate this quote-unquote Moorish Canadian nonsense, which also means you are blatantly going against the Prophet. Period. And to the other Moor, or any other Moors for that matter, talking that quote-unquote Moorish Canadian nonsense and talking about we want to be Americans so bad, we suggest you all go back to grade 4 and learn basic geography. America is a continent, not a country. So if we are quote-unquote Moorish Canadian, that would make you quote-unquote Moorish United Statesian, not Moorish American. You all should be smarter than that. I mean, what? Moors are supposed to be navigators, correct? But you all don't know how to read a map? You all don't know the difference between a country and a continent? When the Prophet said North, South, and Central America, he was not speaking about North, South, and Central United States. He was speaking about the continent, as expressed in chapter 47, number 7, of the Circle 7 Quran. Period. You Moors are breaking a lot of sevens with this quote-unquote Moorish Canadian nonsense. You all should be more intelligent than that. So, Canaanland Moors are Moorish Americans. Just like Moors at the United States, and Moors at Mexico, and Moors at the quote-unquote Caribbean islands, just like Moors at Venezuela, just like Moors at Brazil, and Argentina, and Peru, and Paraguay, etc. Period.
You big cold-blooded dummy.
Common sense was made before book sense.
He said, what's up with your language, my brother Cheyenne? And I hope Cheyenne comes on the feed. He said, cuz, you sent me fuckboy Sabir. I don't fuck with Sabir, that's why. He said he ain't got no D. He sent you the video. So I want y'all to see how these Moors are, because I'm pissing them off, and I want to piss them off. And I seen this brother on my feed. That's Kudjo from up in Canada. So tell Kudjo if you want to talk to Sabir Bey, come on Sabir Bey's feed.
We already told you. We're not going on any Sabir Bey's feed or none of that BS. We're not going on any House of Ram or any of that BS. Because we have our own goddamn platform. We don't need these people. We've been put in our work. And our work stands still right now. Still, our work stands right now. Right now, our work still stands. And all these people who have no honors and no respect for Canaanland Moors and the Moorish Science Temple of America, first Moorish Science Temple of America near Toronto, Canaanland, FOH. We don't honor you either. So stop sending people to send us your videos and all that stuff to try to get us on your BS. We're not getting on your BS. FOH. And we'll put it out there again since people forgot or they don't know what's going on. Bought some DVDs from Sabir Bey. He didn't want to mail them because he was coming to this jurisdiction. No problem. Why don't you come to the temple and bring the DVDs to the temple? Nah, we got to pay him to come to the temple. FOH, Sabir Bey. And anybody else riding with Sabir Bey, FOH to you too. Because we know Moors who are coming here for all types of other BS. And they were honored. They were running down Grand Sheik to make sure that they can just touch the temple. They just wanted to be in the building just to say that, oh man, when I went to Canaanland, I at least got to meet the Grand Sheik and went to the temple. What Sabir Bey do? Sabir Bey had us meet him at Starbucks. Why are we meeting at Starbucks as Moors? Why are we Moors and you're meeting at Starbucks? When we have a Moorish Science Temple, we could go there and sit down. You got Wi-Fi there too if you want to do something. What you going to Starbucks for? And not only that, the Starbucks that he wanted to meet at was where the fags are at. Why is he at the faggot Starbucks? Why is Sabir Bey meeting Moors at the faggot Starbucks? Why is it that he's telling us, yeah, go meet us at Starbucks? Like, Starbucks? Dundas Street Starbucks? Right. Walking past Young Street, like Dundas Street Starbucks. Where the hell's the Starbucks at? Walking. Like, hey, we're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close to the fag area. Let's just keep walking. Just see where the Starbucks is at. You got to the Starbucks, oh man, this is amazing Starbucks. Everybody here is so polite and all that. Yeah, because it's the fag area and you're a man. Why wouldn't they be polite? Why wouldn't they be polite with you? Why wouldn't they be kind? Why wouldn't they be nice guys? Why wouldn't they be the type to stop and talk and have conversations with you? Because you're a man in the gay area. But he doesn't want to come to the temple unless Moors pay him to come to the temple. FOH for Sabir Bey. FOH. And we'll tell you again. Moors have come to this jurisdiction for all types of BS over the years. Since 2008 to now. Moors have come to this jurisdiction for all types of stuff. Parties, for concerts, for parades, just to be here because they had a ticket. And every single Moor who came here, they either called the temple, left a message, or they got my number from some other Moor, and they were eager and open to come to the temple. eager. They couldn't wait. Moors meet me wherever. Moors will travel from halfway across where they're at to where I'm at to pick me up to go travel halfway back across the city and all that stuff just to go to the temple. Just to go there to stay 5 minutes. They didn't even go in there to stay there for long. Just to say, oh yeah, I actually went to the first temple in Toronto. I could say I went there. I could say that in my lifetime, I visited the first and only Moorish Science Temple near Canaanland. Sabir Bey wants finance because he's going to Morocco. He needs finance to go to Morocco. So why don't we do a fundraiser for him at the temple and have all the Moors donate finance so he can go to the Morocco? FOH. Don't you get social security check because you got shot in the head or whatever? Don't you already get finance? What do you need our finance for? You already get finance from U.S. Corps in the Sabir Bey name and all that. What do you need people's finance for if U.S. Corps is giving you finance? FOH. And this is how the dialogue really went. Just so you know. So you can't say people are lying. So he sends us this BS from Sabir. Matter of fact, let's just see if this plays.
Mind your tongue, Moor, or I will cut it out and feed it to the dogs.
No, I was just messing with you, man. I ain't no talent agent, you know? So cut that. I'm just trying to get at her. Ain't she fine? Watch me work.
Moor! Do you mock me? The king!
Sending me Black Knight. The hell you sending me Black Knight? I'm a Moor. Amenhotep. What? Amenhotep sending me Black Knight videos that Sabir Bey is putting out. I'm a Moor. How are you tagging me? How you tagging a Grand Sheik about some Black Knight like we ain't seen Black Knight and know what's up already? Why don't you send it to the Negroes? Right? So as I said, the fuck you sending me Sabir for? I don't fuck with Sabir. What's up with the language? Because you sent me fuckboy Sabir. I don't fuck with Sabir. That's why. Well, brother, if you don't want me to inbox you Sabir stuff, that's cool. I was talking about the language towards me. You know language towards you. I don't even know you. Who are you? I don't know you. I'm letting you know. Stop sending me BS from Sabir Bey. Because me and him aren't friends. FOH for Sabir Bey. Capital FOH for Sabir Bey. Why? Because he was somebody we used to ride with. We used to ride with him since critical thinking with him and Taj and Brother Hanif at Brother Hanif's house. We were riding with him before he had locks. But then, start seeing this Bey acting real funny. Acting funny with women. Acting funny with other Moors. Acting funny when it comes to Noble Drew Ali. Acting funny when it comes to Moroccan flag. Acting funny always asking for finance. Acting funny when he had a radio show. And I'm telling him, well, hey, we're Moors and all that stuff. He's the guy with the master teacher, Taj Tariq Bey and all that stuff. So he must be riding with Moors. Here's some of my music. Play my music on your radio show. Oh, no, you got to pay me. You got to pay me to play music. Got to pay you to play music. All right. I mean, ain't no big deal. Here's your 100. And he played music one time. And then that's the last time he ever played my music. And I paid. So I saw that as funny. Because why would this Moor Why would this Moor not willingly play Moorish music? Why does he need to get paid to play Moorish music? And then start asking around to people or whatever. Oh yeah, no, that's how he is or whatever. He ain't about nothing. You know, matter of fact, if anybody else on here has any Sabir based stories or whatever like that, where he robbed you, because I already know everywhere he goes, he wants finance. And I already know Moors who invited him wherever, and they gave him finance, and they end up sitting on the couch talking about BS that has nothing to do with the finance that they gave him. And this is a reoccurring theme with Sabir Bey. This is a reoccurring theme. Ample amounts of Moors have complained to me about Sabir Bey. And well, we invited him out here, and then when we went to the lecture, he's saying the same stuff that he's been saying for the past 20 years in videos. He ain't give us anything. He didn't give us anything. We gave him 500. We gave him 200. We gave him whatever they gave him. We gave him whatever amount of finance they gave him. And they got nothing from this individual that says that he's a Moor and they're with the Moorish movement and all that BS. Got nothing from him. And they paid him. So don't tell me any BS about why is my language and all that stuff, because I don't F with Sabir Bey. F him. And F anybody else that's riding with Sabir Bey. F him. One, because he wanted to meet at the faggot area when he wanted to meet out here. Why would you want to meet at the faggot area instead of the Moorish Science Temple? And two, why would you want to be paid to visit the Moorish Science Temple of America if you're a Moor? FOH. So his little butt buddy meshes me back. I've been knowing Sabir going on 10 years. We hang out, break bread together, all that. Matter of fact, we're probably going to hang out tomorrow. Oh, of course. Of course you're going to go hang out with him. Of course you're going to go hang out with Sabir Bey. I bet you're going to the fag area to go hang out too. Bunch of fudge packers. The hell out of here. Telling me some BS. BS. Making it sound as if we need to be on his platform or something. Don't need no damn Sabir Bey.
So that's what he texts people. When someone tries to get information out to you, it ain't just the white man, it's our people.
What white man you talking about? Thought this is a Moor. That was Moor talking about white people. Why is a Moor talking about Canada? What's Canada? What's that? Why is a Moor talking about United States? Why is a Moor talking about black people and Ethiopians? And they say that they're bays and honors to Noble Drew Ali and all that stuff, and they're talking about white people? What's white people? What's that? What is that? There's nothing called white people. This is a Moor. This is a studious Moor. He's been studying for longer than all of us Moors. He's still saying white people? Still? You still not saying modern European? You still saying white people? But this is what you're left with now. Because you don't want to study. You don't want to go and buy every book that Brother Kush Day is putting out when he does lives or whatever like that. But you know, make sure Sabir's in Chicago. He's going to go make sure he checks Kush Day or whatever like that. And then he keeps showing you the same books all the time. He keeps showing you the same article for 20 years. He's showing you the same Langston Hughes article for 20 years. 20 years, he's showing you the same article. He got all these tapes of shows or whatever like that he been doing for 20 years. He ain't put those shows up online yet. What are you waiting for? What are you holding back info from the people for? Nah, you want to be read to and all that. That's what you want. You want Moors to read to you. You want to go study. You don't want to take the bull by the horns and do this for yourself. You people want to be pet. You people want to be petted. Right? People want to be petted. You know, petting going on. Forget petting. All right? People playing games with you. And you let them play games, they're going to play games. How much times have to put out books and then you're not going and buying the books? Why don't you go buy the books? Like, why aren't you buying the books and studying? Islam more. Happy holy day to all the Moors, by the way.
Peace and love, Grand Sheik. Peace and love.
Islam. Peace more. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Man, the more and more I know, I've told the scenario of meeting with Sabir in downtown Denver at a Starbucks a few years ago or whatever. But the more and more you mention and bring up this, like you say, fudge packer. Well, I'm thinking back, and downtown Denver is historically known for faggots. Like it's just historically known. Now going down there to meet him or whatever, like I say, maybe blinded by his podcast and all the BS that he was putting out at the time.
Yeah, you're starstruck. We're
Yeah.
starstruck too. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I went on down there and met him. But the more you mention that, or the couple times you mentioned that and brought it up, I keep thinking back, like, you know what? Being down there was some short wearing ass flamer type looking, man, just all around, and I just never thought about that shit because I was going down there for a noble, honorable reason, or so I thought.
Yep.
This bullshit got to stop, man. Like I don't get it. But he want to talk and want to debate only on his platform, where he can manipulate everything to fit his rhetoric and his
Agenda.
his agenda. There you go. His
Yep.
agenda. Absolutely
Yep.
right. This shit is crazy, man. Like you
Yep.
just said, coming into this knowledge, I thought even that was one of the upright, independent, and studious Moors,
Yep.
so to speak. But like you
Exactly.
said, he been putting out the same goddamn information for 20 years. The same thing. It's like he regurgitating the shit he said 5 years ago because it's new people coming into the knowledge. So he want to hook, line, and sinker them.
Yeah. And then the other idiots who been there for 20 years and not addressing the fact that, hey, you just talked about this yesterday. Like, why are you talking about this same stuff
exactly.
again?
Not
Why you keep
address
showing these same things
or
all
not
over
addressing the fact of him selling out. Like
again?
his Cash App. Hey, matter of fact, let me throw my Cash App in here real quick. I got how fucking. And I just seen the video again, calling the people white people and shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He been in this movement, and to my knowledge, he been in this movement and on this boat for about half or close to about half as long as Taj. He should be Taj's predecessor, so to speak, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yep.
And it's like he just like this other fucking clown Rami. It's like he running the other. All right, I got him now. Take off the other way and chase the Fiat.
Yeah. Yeah.
This shit is annoying. What is it gonna take for screw the forget all about the hybrid European or whatever. Forget them for right now. What is it gonna take for us to stand up and get our scimitars out and cut their heads off, these traitors' heads off first? It's them that's sinking the movement and stagnating the movement. It's them.
Those the first ones that gotta go.
The first
Those
ones
the
that gotta
first
go,
ones.
man. Like we spoke about 2 weeks ago on the live, and I talked about punching them in the face and all of that shit or whatever. Like I try my best to stay away from that, and I don't want to do no harm in any way, shape, form, or fashion to any more conscious or unconscious. But man, there's some people out here that need to get it. Like period,
People out
point
here,
blank.
straight up.
I don't know no other way to put it or say it or politically correct way to speak about it or what, but man, this shit is ridiculous, man.
They are the issue. The ones who are about causing the confusion. The ones
And
who are about making sure that the people stay in this level of
state of mind.
of mental servitude, right?
And that's
And not
all he doing. That's all he's doing. He ain't lining his pockets. Ain't nobody giving you no money. Them couple $50 here, $100 here. That shit ain't helping nobody. It may be helping him, which I doubt, but that ain't. He's stagnating any progress that honorable Moors like yourself, like Brother Kush. He's stagnating all of that movement because people hear our lives and us going live and what we talking about, then flip back to Sabir or somebody like him, Rod Hayes, and hear what they saying, and they like, well, wait a minute, that's causing fucking confusion. When
super
all they gotta do
confusion.
is tell the truth. What does the church say? Truth never dies. Tell the truth. Tell the
Tell the
truth. Be
truth. That's
honest.
all. That's all. Just tell the truth. And
It's like that brother
this
in
is
that
what.
one video who said he went to the Moorish Science Temple in order to get out of jail or whatever he was doing, get off probation, parole, whatever it was, and he did it. And the DJ, the host or whatever, was like, "Oh, you finessed him." He said, "No, I didn't finesse no goddamn
Yeah,
body. I told him
I
the
finessed.
truth."
Yeah, I finessed them. Finessed them.
Tell the
It's
truth, man.
insane.
Upright,
It's insane.
independent, and fearless, not cowardly and comfortable.
Yep. Right. Like even when we look at when we go down the line of all the Moors who whether they had nothing to say or they were talking BS. The Moorish militia is about to be out now,
Yeah.
and
100. Hopefully within the next 24 hours. I can't wait.
and they've had nothing to say. We don't see when they have something to say when they're actually out now.
Yeah, but did you notice, Grand Sheik, as more and more of these shootings start happening around the landmass and all of that, uh, you notice all those people that was talking shit about the rising Moors and the Moorish militia or whatever, they kind of faded back and stopped posting videos, stopped saying stuff about them and all that stuff. Not to mention all these highway patrolmen who are getting caught up in these scams and trying to
Yeah,
get
got
overtime money
nothing to
and
say.
all of that stuff. They ain't got
Nothing to
shit to
say.
say about this state trooper's son. He got caught with all these guns in the car and
Yeah,
drunk, and they ain't got nothing to say about that
nothing to
shit at
say.
all. As
Nothing to say
soon as
about.
all that type shit started coming out, all those Moorish militia haters faded to black. Now you
Yeah,
can't. They ain't posting no videos in 2-3 weeks and all of this shit. Why?
they
What
got
happened?
nothing to
Cat
say.
got your tongue now?
Exactly. Exactly.
No, the truth prevails, is what it is.
Exactly. Truth reigns supreme,
Always.
right?
Always.
And that's all this is about. Don't think about this as some campaign against Sabir and all this stuff. Know that we know he's a liar. We know that his funds are running out, which is why he's coming at Grand Sheik Kudjo right now, because he knows that we're top tier.
Right.
Everybody knows we're top tier. Everybody knows we're next lineup after the more Avengers. We're next lineup,
That's right.
right?
That's why I love man. I sit and wait with my phone in my hand damn near daily, waiting to get a notification for a video that or a live that you or Brother Kush or another
Yeah.
honorable Moore is putting out, because y'all are doing the work. You're
And
doing
you
the work.
and people don't even get notifications anymore.
Yeah, that's like me today. I
It's
didn't
gone
get this
so far.
notification. I was pissed off when I clicked on the link. Was like, oh shit, he doing the live?
That's how far it is now. That's how top tier this is. That's how top tier it is. Just like
And
we said, one
imagine
of the
if this
more
idiot had a stayed the course where we
where
could
we
be now.
would be. Where would we be if these people, if all these individuals, right, who were quote unquote under Taj wing or whatever, let's say,
Yeah.
right? and they stayed the course from then 20 years ago to now. You know where the Moors will be right now? You know how many people would be awake right now? No, people would be awake, like awake, eyes wide open, like how we talk about. You know how many would be awake? You have when again and again we're using the template. This is why certain people didn't make more Avengers. Certain people didn't make the cut. There's people who didn't make the cut because as we're going through the thing, we're like, damn, they're not on it anymore like that. Oh damn, they're not on it anymore like that. Oh damn. What happened to this individual? What happened to that individual? Please. People been playing games and game time is over.
And
Because
I
there's
equate
more out
that
here who are
Grand Sheik.
studying.
Yeah, absolutely. I equate that Grand Sheik because when I used to, and I like I said, when we spoke on the phone a couple of years ago or whatever, I'm nobody to nobody. I'm just another Moor. But I started sharing information at the libraries and even in my home and all of that stuff. Probably got up to about 20 to 25 Moors that were coming regularly or whatever. But sure as shit, within a couple of weeks after we done discussed and went over this and went over that, now this Moor didn't fell off, this Moor didn't fell off. No, what it is they came and got what information benefited them and their
Yep.
situation, and then they
Yep.
left and went back to
Yep.
being a nigga.
Went
Excuse
back
the
to the
language.
nigga state. Yep.
Yeah, went back to being a nigga.
And then that's the same thing. That's the same thing with the people putting out information. Them putting out information that only benefits them. Them putting out information that's only going to get them their little views or whatever like that, so that they can get their little YouTube check or get their cash app filled up or whatever like that. And that's downright selfish. That's downright selfish. And selfish is the last thing Moors are supposed to be.
It's the
Especially
last
Moors.
thing, Grand Sheik. I said it yesterday. Especially Moors. I said that yesterday in your live yesterday. Selflessness. Selflessness.
Right?
When you go to judgment, your heart should be light as a feather.
Straight up.
Your heart can't be light as a feather if every other fucking word out your mouth is hey, oh yeah, hit that cash app. Don't forget that cash app. Oh, here, donate to this.
Yeah. Like somebody like him should have about 8 books out already. Don't tell me about some damn radio show you did 20 years ago, and then you're not even putting those out. If they're hot like that,
I've not saw one.
If they're hot like that, those stuff should be forget going live. Put up all those radio shows that you have on tape that you keep boasting about.
Yeah.
And you know that, and you know he has some stuff in the vault. He has some stuff in the vault with Taj, with nature, with you name them. You name them.
That's what I was looking for. Someone to share that knowledge. Share that knowledge. That's exactly what I was looking for. And you mentioned donating or whatever, paying them for whatever to play your music or whatever. He should be, if that's the case, you paid him to play your music on his podcast. All this man, I'm trying not to use profanity.
Boy, it's all good. Do your thing, Mark.
all this motherfucker do is play KRS-One. So KRS-One ought to be in line your pocket. You should be rich. What the fuck you asking us for money for?
Yeah. And again, on that KRS thing too, we bring this up again. When I went to the KRS concert and told KRS to his face, yo, I'm here because Sabir Bey told me to come, that you're in town, so I'm here, you know what I mean, just to see the show. You know what he said to me? Where's Sabir at? How come you're here and Sabir's not here? Then look at this dick rider, this KRS-One dick rider playing his music every goddamn day, 3 or 4 times a day on his platform, and KRS doesn't even fuck with him, much less more.
Man, when I was fucking with his podcast, he would stop his thought in mid-thought to play a bullshit-ass verse from KRS-One. Yep. I don't think I've ever been on a live with you or on a live or listening to or watching a live with Kush and not heard y'all mention the Prophet. in some way, shape, form, or fashion before you leave, when you come on 10 times throughout the video or whatever. I've never ever heard this clown mention Prophet Noble Drew Ali, not once, ever.
Yep. Talking
That
about people
right
that,
there was my red flag
yeah,
to watching and listening to his podcast. You're like, wait a minute, man. All right, I seen you with Taj yesterday, but what the fuck you doing? You
yeah,
fall and bump your head overnight or what?
yeah, yeah.
That shit
It's
was
crazy.
disheartening for a little while, for about a year. It was disheartening. Like, God damn, man, we just ain't gonna never get. And now it's got to the point where I'm like, well, fuck that, man. I got my scimitar. Where he at? Let's
Yeah,
handle this shit to stop this shit now. Snip it
yep.
in the bud while we can.
While we can,
For
while
this
we
shit
can.
get any more out of control.
Yep,
And like I said, I live by the 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom. But in the event that any of those 4 are violated, justice must be swift.
yep. Swift, quick, fast.
Quick, fast. I'm about that life. So I
Yeah,
mean, what we got to do, man? This shit is ridiculous, man.
yeah. It's messed up, messed up. And then people on the outside are looking at the Moorish movement, and they always got this. Well, the Moors this and the Moors that and all that stuff. Ain't the Moors nothing? Ain't no the Moors nothing. It's your dumbass, and it's the traders. Don't let say the Moors anything. They keep doing this broad thing with Moors. It's not the Moors anything. It's the individuals who are in this to stagnate the movement, and it's the ones who listen to the people who are causing the stagnation.
Absolutely. Like I said, I almost got choked up and brought a damn tear to my eye just thinking about what you just said a little while ago. Where the fuck would we be if everybody that started with Taj, or everybody that was by Taj's side when Taj started off, where would we be right now? Where would we be? We wouldn't have to have this discussion on their platform on this, because we would have our own fucking platform up and running.
And then and even bigger than that, even if we don't say Taj, let's just say where we're, if all of them were Great Seal with CMB, where would we be? And then if we say, and if we don't mention him, let's go back to Drew Ali. If these people stayed the course since Drew Ali came
Since
and
the
didn't budge,
20s, man.
if they stayed on course with what Drew Ali was doing in the 20s, instead of being selfish, arrogant assholes with this info, where would we be?
Them motherfuckers that we don't want to be here would be running to the boats right at about this time.
Yeah, straight up, right? There was something else that he said in this. Let me play this thing.
Bear with me. And I seen him watching this video. But you go and tell another person. Ain't that crazy, Trina? What is wrong with these grown men? I think I'm in a lot of people's pockets, and that's why the elder told me this. He said, you are pissing these people off because they can't fleece nobody anymore.
Who's
you the one doing the fleecing?
Yeah,
God damn it, man.
right? Oh, fleecing. Who we fleecing? You don't put out Cash App and all that stuff. If I need finance, we say go get some CDs, go get the music to download, go Khalifa Media, go buy some books or something like that. That's not fleecing. Fleecing is putting out your Cash App 500 times in an hour. That's fleecing. Fleecing is knowing that you get Social Security check because you got shot in the head and whatever like that, and then not saying nothing about you getting Social Security checks, but still putting out Cash Apps. But Islam more, don't let me cut you because there's the countdown. You know how they do on our stuff. Honors to
Right.
you, more. Happy holy day to all the Moors.
Honors to you, Grand Sheik.
Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors who supported the Moorish militia in getting them out. And peace and love to all. Islam.
Okay.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Case Cemetery, February the 4th case. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sabir, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no door, I lay in plain sight. But people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death of slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astro plane interests, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Moorish key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, VAR feminists, stomped on by elephants, more like no prejudice but want Moorish benefits when you feel the cold magnetic resonance. Apis horns, cosmic brothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, states all the testaments, back into remembrance, never to forget again.
Peace, Mo.
She right now puts spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no veiling shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon shades. It's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many visual bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on Tuesday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations, all comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Bet they won't.
Bet they won't. They gave it a try. They gave it a try.
Peace, Mo.
They gave it a try. Hey, I just
Never.
want to tell you boys went in on that thing, yo. You boys went in on that
Islam,
thing.
Islam, Mo. Islam.
Hey,
Yeah, that was a good one.
only in America.
Exactly.
Hey,
According
Kudjo,
to,
do it one time for me. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
according to Kevin Samuels, you can't make this shit up.
No.
Yo, you can't make this shit up. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Hey, she asked me to come on.
For real.
Yeah.
They like,
That's
look,
real.
I'm telling you, Kudjo, they following me because the non-believers and the ones that want to know, that's the ones that's attached.
Yeah.
And I don't push it on them. I don't push it on them. I give them the bits of information that I know, and I show them the points. That's enough for you to know to go study.
Straight.
But it's the distractions. It's crazy. The distractions are amazing. How those people are sent to actually just like, they don't want, you can't even put a word in. Like, you can't even get like, say a sentence without them like just coming in there and talking trash and like, and it's all like distracting from the whole point. Like it's crazy how they do that.
Right.
And as a more, like, we know when people are doing that stuff. Like, I see it all the time. Like, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Every time a more goes live, that's it. They come on and they start with this.
They're on there going crazy.
It's some type of distraction. It's some type of push away. But Kudjo, you told me, you said, and I see it now. When they do that, agents, they're agents.
Yeah.
Well, totally.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can bring up
Islam.
Corin Gaines and talk that kind of stuff,
Oh yeah,
that's
when he
like,
brought
you
up,
know.
oh, I was hot when he brought up Court Games. Oh, I was so hot. Yo, I was
See,
so hot.
and that's what I'm saying. More, I'm not on that level yet. See, that's what
Yo,
I'm still studying.
yo, I
No,
was so
I
hot.
was like, when I heard that, I was like, this guy sent. I was
This
like, you
guy
don't
sent
know
it.
who Moors are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know nothing about Moors. You
Oh,
don't know.
and
You're calling Moors.
the black
Sorry.
identity extremists too. The black
Yeah.
identity, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you pulled that one, I was like, oh
Yep.
yeah, these
Yep.
guys are sent for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
For sure, they're
Yep.
sent.
Yep.
Yep.
Talking
Straight.
about when you say you're a Moor, you get deported back to Morocco
Yeah.
and all this shit. Listen,
Okay,
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
at
in
home
my
now. Look, I'm at home now.
look,
What?
look, in my jurisdiction, I'll give you this short story. In my jurisdiction here, I got into something. Kudjo can be a witness to this because Kudjo actually was on the phone with my Moabite for hours, like
Right.
telling her what to do, etc. So they kidnapped me for a mass, but it wasn't for a mass, but it was from how I was relating to the highwaymen and the sergeant. I was like, bring a sergeant, get a sergeant over here,
Yes.
whatever.
White
And they
shirt,
were
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, they were like, oh no, we have to go take you down to meet him. I was like, no, you have to bring him here. So they kidnapped me anyway until I need to take me down to see him.
Right.
Then he took me into his office and he's like, oh, where do you know all this stuff from? And which books you've been reading and and me, like in his office, like the sergeant's office, sitting, and he's all, he's a Mason too, and he's all putting up all he's throwing up his signs and this and that. And then I don't know what it was. It was something he was trying to get off from me, and I was like, wasn't having it. And he's like, oh, just lock him up. And
it's the information. You can't lock us up for the information.
No, but the thing was, he just wanted to know who I was and where I was getting this stuff from, etc.
Okay.
So in the end, I had to, because they were asking for ID. It was like, you didn't have ID, failure to ID, that's a charge. You refusing this, that, all bunch of like about 6 different like bullshit charges. At the end of it, show them the nationality and proclamation, declaration, paperwork. They were like if it was a ghost, like they saw a ghost. I tell you, reading that,
Islam.
They were like, before. My point was coming back to the Morocco stuff.
Yes.
I was like, I'm not in your jurisdiction. I'm in Morocco. Like, this is not what you're calling this place. Like, I'm not there in your jurisdiction.
Right.
So they're like, oh well, we need to bring the immigration because you're not. Mind you, I never saw. never.
You're about to open Pandora box.
Moors never saw the immigration. Never showed up. Nothing like that. They let me out that joint so fast with that proclamation, nationality paperwork, like.
Yeah. Oh, there they go. There they go.
Wow.
The boy was on there for 3 hours. Nothing.
For 3 hours.
No disruptions. As soon as you start talking about that proclamation paperwork, here they go.
They don't want you to know. That's. I was just telling my wife, they don't want us to know about ourselves.
Nope. But even the mercenaries wanted to proclaim their nationality. They were like, "Oh, so we're actually Americans too, and we don't need like visas to travel into the U.S. political jurisdiction."
Yeah.
They were like going crazy on that stuff. They asked me to keep it. They're like, "Can I keep this copy?"
Yeah.
But the truth
I'm like, "Yeah, keep it." I'm like, "Yeah, hold on."
Yeah, the truth is there. They just need to understand it.
Sure.
But the thing is, it wasn't a hostile thing or anything. They were like, they didn't even want to speak to me. They were talking to all the others, the other guy who they were holding there, and we were kidnapped. And I was like teaching them about their nationality and their birthrights in there. Then some of the mercenaries would come to the back, listen to me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's what he's saying is correct." And they going on, they're saying that's exactly correct what I'm saying as well.
Right.
Some of the sisters who are mercenaries, they want to proclaim their nationality. They want to like know about what's going on. I'm like, this is crazy. Then
it amazes me how they go back to the ancient time to get to Noble Drew Ali.
The modern.
Yeah.
And that's the time
Right.
that we're supposed to be on. 1920 is to help the people today.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
1817, that was our ancestors. That was for them.
But Kudjo was talking that this morning with the live with that Rod Haynes guy with his bullshit about going back to the Ottoman Empire instead of going from Drew Ali time.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going there for?
That's like going up the block, around the corner to get to one.
But the thing is, the people who don't know this stuff, like, they're going to be confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is what gets me upset.
Kudjo, what is it?
Like,
Ask Noble Drew Ali.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're telling them now. Ask
Yep.
Noble Drew
But
Ali.
That's
they ain't going there, though.
That's the one now.
They ain't going there.
Ask them.
I bet they won't go there.
I bet
for real. For real.
Nope. They ain't going to Ivory Bay. They're not going to Drew Ali's literature. They will listen to all these Moors online, talking all this bullshit, all these Freemasons, all these Indians, all these whoever's.
All misnomers.
All distracting the people.
Right, exactly.
They'll tell you, be a Arawak, Tahino, West Indian, before they tell you
Because
you're
she really wanted to know. The whole
wanted
to know.
That was the thing. What was interesting? What was interesting was because I noticed that the part when she started getting frustrated or whatever.
Yes.
When she started getting frustrated, that's when it hit me. Yeah, that's when it hit me that, oh shit, like they're actually messing up her learning or whatever.
Yep.
She's actually trying to get put on some game. I was like, oh, that's what's going on.
She started.
She's trying to get put on some game.
She started following me from another page. So she was interested. She wants to know, and I'm like, come on. I look, if you want to know, I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm not forcing it down your throat. I'm not telling you. I know who I am. I'm good at it. I know who you are. But I want you to know who you are on your own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But those were the guys wasn't having that. Those Indian whoever's or whatever they were.
Well, the one guy, the
Hindus.
Yeah, the one guy with the guy that was at the store. I know he wanted to know too. But I think he was riding. Yeah, because he was because he was mentioning, oh yeah, well that was a real Moor. You're not a real Moor.
That's my teacher.
Was it the one with the bald head?
Yeah.
That's my brother that's going to correct me and keep me sharp. So I'm not worried. Whether it's bad or good, he's still gonna keep me sharp. But that emotional damage, that's what people they wear that on their sleeve.
Like a badge.
Yeah.
They wear that hard.
Ignorance. I can't believe it. But the fact that they won't even let you talk.
No, they won't.
Like they don't want the people to hear anything Moorish.
That's why I yield. I yield completely and told them don't act.
Me too. I like how I can shut up and let him be.
Don't act. No more questions, brother. You can't handle the weight.
Yeah. What's funny is he wanna ask questions after being disrespectful.
Yes. Automatically you're getting respect from me because I'm not gonna curse you. I'm not trying to be in competition with you. That's Willie Lynch syndrome.
Yeah. Then
I'm not in competition with no man when I stand on my own.
Yeah.
I asked him about the colonizers because he's talking about Corin Gaines and this one and who got shot up. I'm asking him, like, who shot her up? Was it Moors or was it colonizers? That he won't answer. He was like, well, the colonizers are Moors and Europeans. I was like, okay. Then he goes over to Africa and then he says, oh, the white man or the white men colonized. I was like, make up your mind. Is it so-called white men or so-called black people that colonize the land?
The adjective. This adjective. Yeah. Wow.
But how they switch up. But how they switch up to suit their narrative is amazing as well. Like they're all over the place.
Yeah. As soon as they get checkmated, they're gone somewhere else.
Yep.
Bruh, and that's why I said gratitude, Pay. Gratitude, bro.
Gratitude, yo. You had them on lock. You had them on lockdown. They couldn't move, yo. They were just in the corner. In the corner. Oh, God. Oh, in the corner.
Yep.
Oh, in the corner.
Wait. They getting beat up by an amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you're an adept, like, compared to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Compared to them,
like,
compared to them, you're Einstein.
Zoom.
Those are a bunch of
Zoom. It's like I didn't finish school, got a college degree, or none of that.
No, you don't need that.
I learned out at the library.
Just common sense, some good books, and be able to read.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and comprehend stuff. What it means, what these words mean. This is what it is. Like, it's simple. Like, it's not that difficult.
All of that. I have my own.
I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
Like, I found out about this, like, Moorish science through Europeans from over in the UK.
Right.
Right? And they were talking about Moorish science. I was like Negro black colored minded at the time. That's like 2014.
Right.
And they were like, the husband is like, oh, I just came back from Peru, and I'm going now to Spain to see what the Moors built. So I'm in my Negro black colored mindset. I'm like, who these Moors? I keep seeing these Moors around everywhere, Moors around Europe. Like, what's going on? This Moor stuff. And they were like, oh, the Moors, they were. It's like stuttering. Like, I was like, what's going on here? Like, I've never seen that in my life. I was like, I gotta go. So she jumped in to save herself. No, the husband jumped in to save her because the wife was just stuttering, and he was like, oh, the Moors, they were some Arabs. I was like, okay, Arabs, let me go see who these Arabs. Because that's stuttering to tell me, like, I never experienced that from anyone in my life. Like, so when I go doing my research, I see brothers looking just like me, and you, like, just like, I was like, what's going on? They're engineers, they're mathematicians, they're astrologers, they're like running shit. I was like, no. So I started like dressing like Moors, like just, I didn't know anything about the civic part of it.
Exactly.
I just know.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, I just knew that I was a Moor. Because if these people are Moors, then I have to be a Moor too.
Exactly.
Like, they can't be Moors. They look just like me, and I'm not a Moor. That's ridiculous.
But the dots connect so perfect though. It's like you could put you can do it blindfold. Seriously.
Easy. Yeah. Then I ran into Taj. One of, like, a day just going into like Freemasonry and studying what's his Freemasonry stuff. Then run into Taj video, just randomly pop up on the suggestions. I was like, and I started hearing this guy talk, and I was like, who's this guy and what he's talking about with this thing on his head? Yeah. You know, not knowing his affairs. And it's like, this guy, he's talking, but I can't comprehend what he's saying.
Not registered,
it's not getting to it. It's like the blood flow. It's not getting there.
It took me like some months.
He's impotent.
Yes, it took me a while. Then I got it. I was like, all right.
Right.
It just like one day, it just like, boom. I was like, okay, status, jurisdiction, or education.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I started going to RVB, started redoing my own research. They start catching up. I was like, okay, this is what it is. Then with Kudjo, with that incident, that's what made me really, because I actually experienced it like a couple of times going to their tribunals, their quasi courts.
Yeah.
And the first time, they cleared out the whole entire room. Like they let everyone, but it was for like some
I think I saw your page on that. You was talking about something like that.
Yep. And they let every single one out. They let me for last. Then they were like, the guy who was supposed to be, the so-called magistrate, he was like, I've seen one other individual in the court, but I don't have any documents in my book. I don't have any more cases in my book.
Right.
So he has no more cases. I'm sitting there. Like, I'm thinking I should be walking out then.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for the same so-called charges,
Right.
they just charge other undeclared Moors 2,000, 3,000, 6,000, 4,000, or do 3 months to do, or 2 months, or 3 months, or whatever, all this stuff. And I'm sitting there listening to this. Then it comes to me, but then he doesn't have any more cases.
Yeah.
And then the highwayman, the mercenary, he has his paperwork in his hand, just now trying to like shuffle up to the so-called magistrate, and then asking 2 senior mercenaries to him like what to do. I'm hearing him asking him, what should I do? What should I do? How to? And they're trying to tell him, all right, just go up there, give it to the magistrate. Da 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 da. Then the guy, the so-called magistrate, watching me. He's like, yeah, what? Just go downstairs, sign or autograph your appellation, what he used name,
right,
and then go. Other mercenaries, they're running up to me like, oh, do you work in an office? I was like, why you ask that? He's like, oh no, just the way you handle yourself upstairs in the courtroom. I was like, okay.
The way you're supposed to handle yourself as a real person.
Exactly.
As a real person.
I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't work in an office. I'm just a regular Joe. Like I'm
working office.
I'm living just like you are, but I'm in proper.
Yeah.
I'm in proper self. That's it.
Exactly. Then the guy who tried to stick me with the stuff, he's outside asking me because he didn't take the case. He gave it to another rookie because he already know, like that's bullshit. He already knew. Even the woman who she comes like to the station, takes the names down, see what's going on. She organizes everything to go to court. She's like, when she saw the bay on the paperwork, she's like, who put this here? She's like, who put bay on who's he? And then the highwayman is like, no, he's not a bay. He's giving the straw.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm objecting. I'm like, nope. I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm like, you don't know you can proclaim your nationality on any given point. You can like, there's no special time to proclaim your nationality. Like I can proclaim your nationality right here in the station, and I just told you I'm Taft Moriel Bay. I'm not that straw.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And she was looking at him. He had holding his head like, oh my. He was like frustrated that morning. He was like, I kept going to call for this guy this morning. He's like a baby.
He just learned something new. That's
the same
what
thing.
happened to most people that get a hold of this. That's exactly how they have. They act. Oh, it's like I can't.
Yeah. He just went out of he didn't understand. He couldn't comprehend what was going on.
No, he couldn't.
But the senior, she knew.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah, she know you can't put bay on those documents. Like you don't do that. That's why the magistrate didn't even put it in his books.
Right.
And even when I was everyone was giving their names going in. She's like, there's one highway woman, to say mercenary, she's writing the names down. You, what's your name? Jones, Johnson. You, what's your name? Charles Dickinson or whatever. You, what's your name? Smith, whatever. You, what's your name? I'm like, that's not my name. My appellation is Tariq, and my title is Bay. She's like, you come back here. She's like, quick. What kind of name is that? Is that Nigerian? Is what?
You look Negro.
Right. Yeah. That's what gets him. That's what gets him. That's what gets them right there.
Then when I see them,
nope, I'm not.
Yeah, then I see the highwaymen on the road. So now they like stop at the lights. One day I'm at the lights. They pull up at the lights. They looked over. They saw me. They wind the window down. They're like, "Hey, we heard you're giving trouble." Talking about the incident in the courtroom and stuff. I'm like, "What trouble? What's your name and badge number?" They're like, "Oh, we didn't ask you your name," and they wind their windows up. I was like, "Since when you're not asking for names? Normally you want to know everybody's names, and you're asking
straight up."
But people need to know this information, and that's what we're gonna push.
Yep.
We're gonna push.
This is why
I don't care.
Those guys are sent.
I want our people to know.
Yeah.
But this is why those guys are sent, to make sure that you don't know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They're always in your chat. They're always trying to confuse. You're talking about this guy. They're talking about some other nonsense that has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating. Like that's really frustrating to have all these distractions.
Exactly. Just like when I told Mother, I told her, I said, look, y'all don't understand. I'm actually going through it right now with my son.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
actually
Yep.
going through what we're talking about right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right now.
Status is everything. Nationality is everything.
Yep.
That's why
Status
I
and
was excluded
nationality.
from everything, because I'm not proper self.
Not playing the game. Yeah.
No, but status and nationality is
Exactly.
everything. I've seen it work. It worked for me in real life. I've witnessed it, like but at the last issue when I had to call up with Kudjo, that was more like a initiation with the ancestors. It wasn't. I didn't see that as a highwayman issue.
Right.
It was so real. Like it's Kudjo. If I tell you, it's like what you would call obia or voodoo or high science kind of. It was like,
right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what happened. There was a guy. They pulled in a guy for some warrant. They said he had a warrant, so they pulled him in. That same night, me and him in the same cell. That same night, his brother got shot, got murdered. Right? And the dogs, it was like raining, okay, at 12 midnight, it was the dogs howling outside. You can tell like his brother's like soul or spirit or something was like present in that cell or in that area.
Yeah.
And they locked the guy up, I think, knowing they already knew what was going to happen with his brother before it even happened. So they locked his brother up, because they knew his brother was going to react or retaliate.
Right.
So they locked him up. This ritual was going down. They got me in there, and now I'm proclaiming my nationality in front of these mercenaries because they come in with a straw.
Right.
They come with a straw, and no one's answering. Everyone's like quiet. Like who they talking to? Because everyone knows me as Tariq Bey. Like who is this straw? Who's this? So the whole place goes quiet. When they say Tariq Bey, then there was a response, and that was the whole initiation with the ancestors and everything. Wanting to see how solid are you?
Are you? Yeah, exactly.
In your knowing, in your knowledge,
in your knowing,
in what
exactly.
you know.
You are what you answer to.
Exactly. And as soon as you put that title L or Bay,
exactly.
There's a meaning to L and Bay and
it's titled to the land.
And a great responsibility.
Exactly.
So the ancestors are going to try you. The ancestors, they're going to try you.
Straight.
Yep. And it's not going to be the highwaymen. They're working through the highwaymen because they're just like pawns. But don't get frightened because part of the Egyptians' mystery systems and stuff, which is Moorish, they would let, let's say, a neophyte jump into a pool, not knowing there's alligators inside of the pool. But you got to swim to the other end.
Exactly. Yeah. Just do it.
But what he doesn't know is that they already fed the alligators.
Right.
So the alligators, they're not going to do anything.
Exactly.
They're just testing your fare.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood. I have it.
Yep. So don't get afraid or whatever. Study. Be what you know. Be solid in what you know.
That's what I accomplished. You better to stay on course.
And you better know what you say you know.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or don't speak.
That's the key.
Don't
I think that's the key.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the key. That's how a lot of people get messed up because they play the follower thing.
Yes.
And they don't study. And then when they get challenged and you can't answer, you're done for. He's going to eat you.
But the thing is too, there's a lot of heavy masonry involved in terms of these highwaymen and stuff. And I didn't know a lot about some of their signs and symbols and stuff at the time. Or I knew it, but I wasn't responding because they were throwing up a lot of signs to give you the go card as well.
They got you.
Here we go. Yeah.
They got Kudjo.
Look how crazy this is.
It's free
You know,
will,
and
but there's consequences with that free will.
yeah. Hey, Kudjo, you're back. They had you spinning for a
They
while.
had you
Frequency's
spend.
too high. They just had me more pause for about a minute. They just had you
Oh,
more
they had us
pause.
on your end pause?
Yeah. We were just
Oh.
watching the spinning circle.
Right. We was watching you
Sure.
spin.
As soon as like certain words, you hit certain words, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it just goes into this.
Hey,
Soon
one
as
thing
you start-
dude said, he said every time the Karen, the one that said, I'm gonna call the police on you. I told him, look, call him, bruh. Call your Hey, look, I knew he was an agent when he said that. You're a black
That's
extremist.
crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
That was crazy.
You're a black extremist.
He said he's gonna
He
call
even
the
tried calling me
FBI.
Negro.
Yeah, he tried to bait me in, but like I said, I don't play dick games. I'm not in competition with you.
Yeah.
He tried calling me Negro as well.
Exactly.
And then saying I'm disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
The Puerto Rican. Yeah, the Puerto Rican. Like,
No.
Yeah,
you can't be disrespecting. You can't be disrespecting people. Those are your brother or whatever like that. Nigga, what do you mean? What do you mean, nigga? Like, what?
Yeah. Even the other guy before too.
Yeah,
Even
that's
other
the guy
one
I'm
before.
talking about, the one before.
Yeah, the one before him
The
too.
one
He was
before.
calling me
That's the
Negro as
one that
well.
was threatening to call the FBI. I knew he was an agent when he said that.
That's the one who mentioned who brought up Cohen Gaines again.
Yes.
The same one.
Oh yeah, you know what I knew he was mad too? When he switched from the English accent to the Jamaican accent?
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
He's like,
oh my God, he got hot.
He got mad.
You're a black
He got mad
extremist.
foul. He got mad foul.
It's amazing to see how these sellouts act when they get caught. They get called out.
When they get called out for their lies and
But that's how you confront a liar.
Yeah.
That's how you confront a liar.
They go crazy.
Straight.
Bring them out. Hey, talk. Hey, look, speak your piece. I don't have a problem with that. I respect what you know, but I'm not going with it.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions in the chat though?
I don't know if Mother Key wants to get on here because she was on the thing too. Ripping these.
That would be good.
I'll step down, sir.
No, if she wants to get on, see if she wants to get on first.
Yeah.
If she wants to get on, then
yeah. But that was a good wake up call. You know what I mean? Just to see it from not being on the platform for once. You know what I mean?
But you know, I was laughing the other day with Sheldon calling you Cussel.
Say that again?
Cussel. When Sheldon was calling you Cussel.
Yeah. Cussel. Yeah. Trust me, yo. Trust me. It was amazing. It was amazing. Just to sit back and just sit back and just watch. Like, oh my gosh, this is what happens. This is how.
This is what you have.
This is
what you do all the time.
Yo, crazy. I was like,
I thought about that. I was like, this is what Kudjo has to go through all the time with these people.
I was like, wow, that's crazy. That was crazy.
Never saw and that's how I knew that they were COINTELPRO.
Yeah.
Like you like that's not normal behavior.
Yeah. A normal individual, they might, jump off the thing or, you know what I mean? They might shut the hell up or whatever like that. But when they keep just going, just keep riding, just keep jabbing the knife in, they just keep jabbing.
I go back to that Cohen Gaines thing again. That got me. Like when he said that, I knew.
That was the straw.
That was the I said this guy knew all the time. He knew all the stuff about Drew Ali. He knows about everything. They all do. But they pretend they don't.
Something that he said too. There was another thing that he said too that I was like, oh, you're
he spoke about he spoke about the Moors when they say they're Moroccan or they're Moorish, they deport them to Morocco.
Oh the deporting. Yeah. Moors get deported to Morocco. So who's your friend that got? Well, I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, you're not gonna say. The boogeyman.
That's personal.
That was the boogeyman.
Yeah, yo. It was real. That was a good one.
Yeah, peace. Shout out to Kush Day, man. Shout out to Kush Day and all the other Moors on the line.
Islam to all the Moors worldwide.
Yeah, Islam to the Moors.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah,
Bill, what's the I think the Moors on here too. Tomorrow, 11:30 Eastern time, we're gonna be doing a little Q&A with another one of the Moors trying to learn something. I'm pretty sure I saw him jump in here. I can't remember his IG handle, but just look for the live tomorrow morning at 11:30. So if any Moors want to get in on that, just tune in tomorrow morning, 11:30, and we'll get you in there to give your 1 or 2 cents that you want to put out. Because again, like the Moors saying, oh yeah, there it is right there, Bud Margin. Jump on go follow Bud Margin so you could be on the live tomorrow morning. That's going to be 11 Eastern time, 11:30 Eastern time, just a Q&A. Just so we could, again, do our job, put that work out, put the information out. You know what I mean? I was going to connect him with some of the other Moors, Brother Kush, to have him have some interviews with some more Moors, just so they can just so his viewers could get the Moors perspective like they're supposed to get it, because we already know you can't just have every Moor on your platform and all that stuff. You gotta be very selective, because a lot of these Moors be tripping.
Yep, but it's good too that Moors can kind of get onto some of those other so-called black platforms and try to. But those platforms are like full of trolls and agents and. I mean, the Moorish platforms are too, but at least there is like some Moorish brothers in the chat that they can correct stuff.
They can regulate. They can regulate it. Yeah.
Right, but those other ones, there be nobody there, nobody knows nothing, and they take advantage of that.
They be talking crazy about Moors.
They be talking some trash.
Crazy.
And they know the people aren't going to go and look up for themselves.
Yeah.
And if you realize, even with the other guy, for both of them, as soon as you get a dictionary and you start showing the meaning of the words that they're talking about, they want to get off. They want to go. They don't want to talk anymore.
Or they try to pull that's the white man. That's the white man.
Yep.
The white man's book. We can't read that.
Yep.
That's the white man's book.
That's why I asked him. This is why I asked him.
That was the other thing. That was the other thing the brother brought up when he was trying to make the connection of Moors to North Africa using the free white person.
Right.
But he was trying to make that connection, and you're telling them, hey, well, ain't nothing going on with regard to white and land masses. Like, what are you talking about? Well, you guys like to use the dictionary, don't you? You guys like to use the dictionary. No, not this time.
So he's like, where you get them definitions from? I was like, as I said, the dictionary. But I was like, so what are you using? Like, where are you going to get the definition? Like, you're just going to make up something? You're not going to go to the actual meaning of the word?
Yeah.
Like, these people that switch, they just switch up accordingly to suit.
Switcheroo.
Whoa. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
But more. I just wanted to let you know that was a good one.
Yeah, man. Love. Peace and love, more. Peace and love, and thanks for that. It's a good bill.
Just to see it live, you know what I mean? And see that, Once Moors who've been studying are the ones that are presenting the info. Anybody who comes around, they're done for. They're done. They don't have a foot to stand on, and it's the people coming to the realization of, oh damn, he actually just shut him down by not even doing anything, and then at that point you start unfollowing these people or whatever, so that you can get the right info. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yep. Peace and love, more, and thanks for all that you do.
Honors,
and
man.
You do for the nation, all that hard work with these stiff-necked, hard-headed, so-called Negroes that don't want to be Moors. You don't want to be your ancestors.
Yep.
It was Taj that's always said that's why people hate so-called black people around the world, like because they're traitors and sellouts.
Yeah.
Of their own people.
Yeah. And everybody
Because the
knows they're
world
traitors.
knows.
Yeah.
Hey?
Everybody knows they're traitors too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you jump on that bandwagon, or people jump on that bandwagon, then you get looked at as a traitor. Then they switch it around and make it seem as your skin complexion.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all the games that they playing.
Straight.
You know, so again, once the people start opening their eyes and start paying attention, you can't force them.
Yeah.
But you can actually point them in some direction, give them a few hints, and if they want to come back, then it's up to them. As you said the other day on your live, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm not trying to give them anything. If they come and they ask about something, I'll tell them. Like the other day, I saw a little child on the beach. He saw me with my turban on, and he was just like walking with his mother and kept turning around, watching, staring me, and I can tell he wants to ask the question. Yeah. But the mother kept pulling his arms and like, let's go. And he was asking his mother like, mommy, what's that? What's he wearing? What's this?
Yeah.
How is he different from the rest of people?
Right.
Kind of thing. Then I'm on the beach, I'm reading the other day, reading my book. Everyone's like gravitating, like all the hybrid Europeans and hybrid Ibians, they want to come talk to me, they want to know what's going on, what we're reading, what's that, you know, what about nationality, birthright, free white persons, and when I'm talking to them, they know all this stuff. They're shaking their head, yeah, like we know
already. What's up, yeah.
We already know what's
what's wrong with your people.
That's the problem. That's the issue. That's the issue. When they I tell them like the black stuff, they just keep shaking their heads like they can't even believe why your people do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's so embarrassing. It's a shame.
Sure. You know that's why we're here. So they can't look at us with shame. They look at all them Negroes. Look at all them Negroes with shame all they want. Don't dare.
Yep.
Look at Moors like we don't know what the
Moors are in the books.
Yeah. Don't look
the
at
Moors
us
are always reading, always studying.
Straight up.
Yep. Peace, love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice. Honest to you as
worldwide.
well.
Peace and love, more. Hail up Empress too.
Peace and love.
All right.
Yes, right. Peace and love. Islam, yes. Islam to everybody in the chat.
Peace, Moors.
Yeah, peace.
Islam. There you go. You already know. Getting out of here. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors. Honors to all the mothers. And you already know. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We're gonna take a quote out of one of the good Moors shirts. No more daily. Islam, Moors.
You see what I'm saying? You wearing an $80,000 chain. It's real thugs in the hood. They get you for that. Easy. And back in the day, the thugs would rob you and be in the club with you like, what up, son? They wasn't even hood. You see what I'm saying? Try getting this back, son. Yo, how does it look on me, son? Because real gangsters do real things. So for all you young MCs out there, understand the words come out your mouth are vessels of thought, and they have magnetic power to them. So if every single word that comes out of your mouth is, I'm a gangster, I'm a thug, come test me, 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 and you drawing it back to you, and real gangsters will come test you. And you don't want that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of what comes out of your mouth.
it's just fiat. All you do is chase fiat. Your children need you more than fiat. Dirty Moors running and gunning for fiat. Assassinate me, Lumumba style with fiat. Assassinate me at the rostrum with fiat. Get your hand out my pocket, wads of fiat. From high school to the NBA just for fiat. Teachers striking, students pay tuition with fiat. Banks say loans of credit, that's fiat. Russell Simmons credit pushing, plastic fiat. Pay a debt with debt, print more fiat. Making more debt when you pay debt with fiat. The currency in the money is you, not fiat. Seen heads bottle, cause he owes him fiat. Lips bruised, stepping on shoes, bought with fiat. $1 trillion deficit is because of fiat. Richness, not wealth, is measured with fiat. Free national standards and power make men not fiat. In videos, Negroes kick and throw fiat. Little bow wow, your black card is just fiat. Police raid, collect guns, drugs and fiat. Serve themselves the job, protect the fiat. Armored trucks can't be armored if they carry in fiat. In case you missed it, the paper currency is the fiat. Credit, debit, Dexit, all fiat. HJR 192 will tell you about fiat. Jordan Maxwell and Patriots tell you about fiat. You won't listen to Taj Tariq Bey tell you about fiat. Companies bankrupt, bailed out with fiat. Gold and silver is the currency, not the fiat. Burn a flag, boys will come if you burn fiat. Planting a gun under oath, under table fiat. I know thugs robbed by peace officers for fiat. B&E niggas crack the safe, grab the fiat. Not the bonds, but blood diamonds and stacks of fiat. Professor Griff told me they got ships in fiat. Airport detectives scan bodies, count fiat. Debt pushers and addicts got bad habits for fiat. Even youth man is job searching to make some fiat. On the jobs and occupation, they pay you with fiat. Butter, times are harder, don't trade old gold for fiat. Shake your ass around the pole for fiat. Slap Rihanna silly, Chris got fiat. Opals involved, that dirty Moore got some fiat. Mountain Dew use Busta Rhymes to make some fiat. Charles Barkley kiss a ref just for fiat. Lil Wayne kiss Birdman just for fiat. Michael Jordan got a statue made Bulls fiat. Cook out at the Masters, Tiger Woods got fiat. Wesley Snipes free on a bond, not fiat. CEOs free on a bond, not fiat. Walking Gold Road, strong man gets his fiat. From your energy, the enemy collects fiat. Send a notice, summons, we send it back. It's treason to pay debts with debt and to collect what you call money but fiat.
And I know what time it is.
Yo, me too, bro. Yeah. Iron. Sheep. Moorish Master MC. Hey, yo. What up, what up? Y'all already know. Audio mechanics, what up? Yo. No need for a swatch watch. I read the time in the signs like prophets and seers. Put a hex on the beers. Put some wicker on Leopold and Mussolini offspring. To the ancestors, spill their blood as my offering. Oshuno Lacunia, may I show me reflections in water like balls of crystal. Walls with penis missiles. Sun gaze and sea gods peeping from behind. I'm learning to love instead of hate and be kind, cause
And I know what time it is.
yo, me too, bro. Yeah. Iron. Sheep. Moorish Master MC. Hey, yo. What up, what up? Y'all already know. Audio mechanics, what up? Yo, no need for a swatch watch. I read the time in the signs like prophets and seers. Put a hex on the beers. Put some wicker on Leopold and Mussolini offspring. To the ancestors, spill their blood as my offering. Oshuno Lacunia, may I show me reflections in water like balls of crystal. Wars with penis missiles. Sun gaze and sea gods peeping from behind. I'm learning to love instead of hate and be kind, cause yes, I know. I'm thinking it's time for the wake up. Good morning as I'm yawning. Check my phone, it's only 2 a.m. Thoughts bubble like a cauldron. Feeling the tonin drip from my pineal gland. Activating my mitochondrial DNA strands. Stimulating my chakras like a camera captures. I did foresee the rapture. Stones falling in Turkey like rain from the sky. My farmer shoveling thousands of bees that died from radioactive waves from cell phone towers. As niggas babble and debate falsehood for hours. No PhD, but they call themselves doctors. We living in the time of false prophets. When we hear them speak, got the feeling awkward. It's like they speak a language I don't understand or talk with. Their tongues fork like utensils, and they stay playing with your mental.
I know what time it is.
Mr. Talk crap and rap should walk on tax. Doing a song about Kobe, what's wrong with Shaq? Co-MVP acceptor, what's wrong with Shaq? Saw the title, wonder what's wrong with Mike. Lesbian stole the arm, what's wrong with Dykes? What's wrong today was wrong yesterday. What's wrong with truth? Liars got nothing to say. Spirits and bottles is what's wrong with booze. No code of the streets is what's wrong with crews. Too much bias is what's wrong with news. It's not the same leather is what's wrong with shoes. I could get shot is what's wrong with blues. Knowledge as a nationality is what's wrong with Jews. You're not Spanish is what's wrong with Negro. You're brown is what's wrong with black people. No energy is what's wrong with money. It's just paper and lacks currency. They're not disciplined is what's wrong with youths. Safe sex taught is what's wrong with schools. Babies having babies pulling out their hair. But he's the man of the house in a baby chair. Following myths is what's wrong with thugs. You're killing people is what's wrong with selling drugs. What's wrong with man? What's wrong with maps? That's not hip hop is what's wrong with rap. What's wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? Messing with swan and bird that give the flu. They give the virus and got no cure. Got you taking bait with no law. I'm the white man, what's wrong with y'all? Niggas are monkeys with thinking stall. Blacks are deaf people, and that's a fact with no volition. Is why they act the way they do. Think backwards and forward too. Pioneer clothes, that's why you have an awkward view. What's wrong with me? I chill with Jupiter and Esau. Who's more conscious than cooling black people? What's wrong with crack? It's not evil. Bin Laden ain't against the pyramid, just the ego. Through deception, we still suffer slavery. When acts it's over, don't say maybe. It's old non-slavery is alive and well. But not honor of our parents is why we fell. No man is able to change my descent unless beyond God is Allah, his hand extends. The great sin to us is nationality and failure to claim a nationality. How far do the effects of great sin go? Down the rabbit hole, walking on gold brick roads. Patriot euros, using our common law. To call a birthright, being taught in the lodge. Your culture was stolen in 1492. You went from being Aladdin to nigga Abu. You say it's a cartoon, but he's got your fez. And you got your mom stocking like caps on your heads.
At the school, I'm told don't let it cool. At the school, I'm told don't let it cool. At the school, I'm told don't let it cool. At the school, I'm told don't let it cool.
Iron sheets spinning and hoping you stop the killing. Most of those holding mics are producing the villains. Losing the children, cells roam, they calling them kids. Won't tell them it's a... We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle.
Out of my mother's womb, a golden child without a silver spoon. Raised by maroons, marooned on a planet like I fell from a moon. Staring at my reflection, height of high noon. Some close the blinds, some open minds. Some gaze with open eyes. The lack of knowledge, you're always surprised and never in peace. A strong man, all in tin man's grease. I found you as a slave, and you call me a personal line I tend to reach. I was raised to embrace those that are weak. You came on your force, I raised you on your feet. You took you to the mountaintop when life was deep. Deep in hell, I raised you well, cause I was raised well. Belt buckles, it made my skin swell. It took a family, a civic duty, a village to raise the unruly, truly.
We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to buy a dictionary, start a library, call it a true berry. Open your eyes very wide. New Moors taught master lower self, no higher. Stay strong, don't retire. Many won't last and return to the nigga state. See it as infinity, not a figure eight. Watch for colonist tricks, they use language. Study etymology and see the tricknology. Code of the streets gone, everyone's in robbery. Shooting into crowds, making children casualties. Mothers bury sons, daughters chase died away. We used to see happy faces, no one glad today. Terror in the eyes behind mask Fendi. Hearts filled with self-inflicted pain, souls empty. We were raised on strict discipline, have manners, respecting elders. Watch for speed trap cameras. Study from the masters, never inept. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle.
Out of my mother's womb, a golden child without a silver spoon. Raised by maroons, marooned on a planet like I fell from a moon. Staring at my reflection, height of high noon. Some close the blinds, some open minds. Some gaze with open eyes. The lack of knowledge, you're always surprised and never in peace. A strong man, all in tin man's grease. I found you as a slave, and you call me a personal line I tend to reach. I was raised to embrace those that are weak. You came on your force, I raised you on your feet. You took you to the mountaintop when life was deep. Deep in hell, I raised you well, cause I was raised well. Belt buckles, it made my skin swell. It took a family, a civic duty, a village to raise the unruly, truly.
We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With Dr. Bongo, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to buy a dictionary, start a library, call it a true berry. Open your eyes very wide. New Moors taught master lower self, no higher. Stay strong, don't retire. Many won't last and return to the nigga state. See it as infinity, not a figure eight. Watch for colonist tricks. They use language, study etymology, and see their tricknology. Code of the streets gone, everyone's in rivalry, shooting into crowds, making children casualties. Mothers bury sons, daughters chase died away. We used to see happy faces, no one glad today. Terror in the eyes behind mass Fendi. Hearts filled with self-inflicted pain, souls empty. We were raised on strict discipline, have manners, respecting elders, watch for speed trap cameras. Study from the masters, never inepts. Moors, look your best, crystals on our chest. We learn de facto, keep rights, rug swept in. We learn from Cain, ain't no half-stepping. Attorneys taught us well about misrepresenting. Learn to reserve rights, give no consenting. Drop worlds on them, or walk away, no emotion venting. Tower and castle building, no TP tenting. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, or parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle.
When we looking at the word, because this word becomes a point of contention, because it's called a catch term. Any word that start with an M and got an R in it has begun to be translated as more. Like the Egyptian word mir, which means a craft, a ship, is now being translated as more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Just because they looking, the word Meroe in the ancient city of Meroe over in Ethiopia, and people are using that to say we was Moors.
Moro. History, family, crest, and coat of arms. The name Moro is a nickname, type of surname derived from the Old French Moor, meaning dark skin, which in turn derives from the Phoenician Moharim, meaning eastern. This name was applied to Moors and other people with dark complexions.
Mm-hmm.
The word is fucking Moreau. It's not Moor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The word is Ottoman. It's not Moor. It's Etruscan. It's not Moor. It's Al-Maghrib. It's not Moor. It's Arabi. It's not Moor. It's Moabite. That's not Moor.
Right.
Nature knows no color line. The Negro as a Moor. Moor, the race, as it occurs in European heraldry, always means Negro. Moor's head, says Berry, is the heraldic term for the head of a black or Negro man. Abbott says Moor's head, the head of a Negro. Edmund says similarly. And this definition is etymologically correct. The Greeks, as was said, to use moros to mean black or dark, and the Romans used it for Negroes. Woolly hair like a Moor's, says Marshall. To Claudian, Moors, Ethiopians, and Negritans, that is Negroes, were one and the same. he speaks of the Moors who dwell besides the waters of Gur, most famous of the rivers of Ethiopia, that overflows its banks as if it had been another Nile. The Gur, referred to here as a Niger, Sir William Smith says the Moors were known in the Alexandrian dialects as blacks, and that the Moors must not be considered a different race from the Numidians. Atgeir says that to the Greeks, Romans, and Gauls, the Moors were known as the black people. He adds, the word Mauritania, inhabited by black populations, was later called Negrita, or Negro land. Moor, therefore, was the equivalent of Negro. The word Moor, M-O-O-R, or M-O-R-E, signifies a primitive black population. Since, therefore, the Romans invaded Britain, France, Belgium, Germany, and other parts of Europe, they undoubtedly took the word Moor, meaning black people, with them. In fact, so common was the use of Moor for Negroes that it is astonishing to find some writers calling Moors a white race. Now, when Claudian wrote, and for a long time after, Moorish signified a great deal more than a native of Mauritania. Any Latin dictionary, any, you know, any Latin dictionary, any old one, at least will tell you that Moorish is a Moor, a blackamoor, or a tawny Moor, and Shakespeare used the word Moor as a synonym for Negro. The Roman Moorish occurs in the European languages as M-O-O-R, M-O-R-E, M-O-R, M-O-H-R, M-O-R-O, M-O-R-I-A-N, and scores of other forms. For instance, the Italian dictionary says Moro, Umo, Nero, Dipiop, black man of Ethiopia. The Century Dictionary said Moor means blackamoor, hence Maurian, Moresque, Morisco, Morris. It is much the same in the Teutonic languages. The word Moor in German, says Stoll, was exactly equivalent to Negro in the time of Othello. Moor, for Negro, continued to be in general use in England until at least the 18th century. Nathaniel Bailey, compiler of the first English dictionary, 1736, has Moor, French, M-O-R-E, Italian, M-O-R-E, or blackamoor, a native of Mauritania. Dr. Samuel Johnson, 1755, has Moor, Morris, Latin, a Negro blackamoor. Mulattoes were called tawny Moors and sometimes tanny Moors. Tanny Moors, Bailey says, they were one born of parents of which one is a Moor and the other was some other nation or white. Albino Negroes were called white Moors. This later was also the nickname in Spain for usurers. Niger, in the ancient African word from which evolved Negro, Niger, Nigra, Negrum of the Romans, started to supplant Ethiop. And more, about the middle of the 6th century, Richard Eden in his Decades says Ethiops, which we now call Moors, Morans, or Negroes. Note, in a letter of 1581, in Archives Curieuses de Histoire de France, the Ethiopians are spoken of as Moors, very black, by Governor of La Rochelle. Sir Thomas Browne said the word Ethiops applies to the memorablest nations of Negroes, that is, of a burnt and torrid countenance. Also, in William Painter's Palace of Pleasure, Africa is called land of the black people, such as the Spaniards called Negroes. Painter was a contemporary of Shakespeare. See also Sir John Mandeville, 14th century traveler. He wrote, "And men of Nubia, that is Ethiopia, be Christian, but they be as the Moors for the great heat of the sun." In chapter 17, he calls Ethiopians Moors. See why Juali said you're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? Because you're Moors. This is real basic. This is basic. Ethiops, which we now call Moors, Morans, or Negroes. Diego de Torres, in a work printed in Spain in 1586, said of Muli Muhammad, Emperor of Morocco, "El cual es negro," who is a Negro. John Harrison of England, in his play The Tragical Life and Death of Muli Abdullah Malik, late King of Barbary, that is Morocco, printed in 1733, says he was the son of Muli Sedan by a Negra, and so by complexion a mulatto. George Peele, in his Tragical Battle of Alcazar, played in London in 1588, or before Shakespeare, everything's tripping. Everything's tripping. George Peele, in his Tragical Battle of Alcazar, played in London in 1588, or before Shakespeare is believed to have written his first play, used Moor and Negro interchangeably. One of his characters is Muli Muhammad, Emperor of Morocco, who is mentioned in such passages and aids with Christian arms the barbarous Moor, the Negro Muli Muhammad, and thunders for vengeance on this Negro Moor. Christopher Marlowe, in Lust Dominion, or the Lascivious Queen, written before Shakespeare's Othello the Moor, also uses Negro and Moor interchangeably several times. This play deals with the illicit love of Eleazar, Prince of Fez, Morocco, with the Queen of Spain, who has a child by him. There goes the Moor. He that makes a cuckold of the Spanish Queen, that's the Black Prince of Devils. He is also called the Negro King, the soft-skinned Negro. Richard Brome, in his English Moor, 1659, used blackamoor, Ethiop, and Negro interchangeably. On a single page, Ben Jonson, 1602, in his Mask of Lackness, which deals with Ethiopia, says it was famous by the name of Niger, of which the people were called Negrite, now Negroes, and are the blackest nation in the world. It might be noted in passing that the subject of the queen or other high-born white woman in love with a Negro has intrigued storytellers from early times. We find it reoccurring in Ethiopian literature. In the folklore of the Greek island of Lesbos, the daughter of a king is enamored of a Negro. To an Englishman, a Moor was usually a blackamoor. In two of the novellinos of Masuccio of 15th century Italy, white mistresses are in love with Negro slaves. A verse of ancient English poetry reads, "The Moor so pleased the new-made empress, that she consented to him secretly, for to abuse her husband's marriage bed, and in some time a blackamoor she bred." In Shakespeare's time, there were at least 4 plays dealing with this theme, all of which were popular: Peele's Battle of Alcazar, Marlowe's Lust Dominion, and Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus and Othello. In Titus Andronicus, Tamora, Queen of Goths, is paramour of the black, woolly-haired Aaron the Moor. And in Othello, the high-born Venetian lady Desdemona is in love with Othello, an ex-slave. Shakespeare uses Negro only once and uses it interchangeably with Moor. In the case of a white man getting a Negro woman with child, Moor for Negro was just coming into use. But in 1623, 7 years after Shakespeare's death, James Mabb, in his translation of Aylman Guzman's De Alfarache, used Negro almost always for Moor. It seems clear, therefore, from the foregoing, that when Europeans placed Moors in their coat of arms, they had no other than what were later called Negroes in mind. The latter appear by thousands in heraldry. I counted 497 families in Wrightsap's Amorale General that had only one or more Negroes in their coat of arms. Some had as many as 6. Seimbachers Wappenbach of 88 volumes had even more. Families with Negro in their coat of arms range from Sicily to Finland. Of the 497 I counted in Richtstraps, France had 146. Who were these blacks? Wade, Grandison, and some others say they represent Moors whom the Crusaders fought in Spain and Palestine. Some, as Go says, represent trade and exploration, that is, of whites who adventured in black man's lands. For instance, Sir John Hawkins, father of the English slave trade, had a bound Negro in his coat of arms. Both these views were right only in a very small way, because they do not explain why so many of these families with Negroes are named Moor, Blackamoor, and the like. McRitchie is correct when he says that families with the name of Moor, M-O-O-R, M-O-O-R-E, Morris, Morrison, and other derivatives of Moor had Moors as their ancestors. He adds, nor can the Moors of heraldry be explained sufficiently on the theory that the founders of families bearing Moors as supporters and Moors' heads as crests had won their spurs in assisting Spaniards to expel the Moor. The bearing among ancient coat of arms is too common to admit this explanation, and the heraldic representation of a Moor or Negro man does not suggest Granada. The features are ugly, irregular, and hair, though longer than that of pure Negro, is woolly. The complexion is of course black. As proof, he gives instances of Negroes in much later times who were brought to England chiefly from Africa, being baptized into the church and giving the surname Moore, M-O-O-R-E, or M-O-R-E. He cites the case of Ellen More, maid of honor to Queen Margaret of Scotland. In 1504, he says, 2 Blackamoor girls arrived and were educated at the court, where they waited on the Queen. They were baptized Ellen and Margaret. In June 1507, a tournament was held in honor of the Queen's black lady Ellen More, which was conducted with great splendor. Her husband, King James, had Negro minstrels, the chief of which was Peter the Morian, M-O-R-Y-E-N, or Moore. McRitchie concludes, the Ellen More offers an unmistakable example of this surname Moore, having been given because the person it distinguished was a Moor, a Moro, or a Murray. Peter the Morian. Other explanations of the surname M-O-O-R, M-O-O-R-E, M-O-R-E is as it comes from Anglo-Saxon M-O-R, damp wasteland. This is true in some cases, but it still does not explain the Moors with Moors within their coat of arms, especially since continental families name Moor or its equivalent also have Moors in their heraldry. The Anglo-Saxon MOR, for instance, bears no resemblance to Moors, human beings in the Latin languages. Its equivalent in Latin is terra ulignosum, or palustria. In Italian, it is brugueria. In Spanish, parano. In French, bruyere. And sometimes maricage or marsh, from the Latin for sea. If there is any connection between the Anglo-Saxon MOR or wasteland and the Latin MAREC on one hand, and the Greek and Latin maros, morus, more on the other, it goes too far back in prehistory to be relevant. When the Greeks and Romans used the word, they definitely meant human beings. Moreover, since the Romans colonized Britain and were there fully 5 centuries before the Anglo-Saxons, it is safe to say that Morris, More, as a surname, was deposited in the English language before the Anglo-Saxon MOR. Again, in British heraldry, even as there are wild men and women that is nude and in a savage state, there are Negro men and women of the same. Might not these black folk like the whites represent ancient Britons, such as the Silurs and the Picts, who were said by McRitchie to have been Negroes? What shatters the theory that the English Moor comes only from wasteland, MOR, is that families with the name Blackamoor and Blackamoor, Blacka, MOUR, which comes from Blackamoor, have Blackamoors in their coat of arms, 49. Lower, who has traced the origin of English surnames, says the most natural, and one with best united the name of the person is that giving a designation which relates to his most conspicuous qualities. Color of skin certainly came into this category. Color and complexion, he adds, have given rise to certainly such surnames as Black, Blackman, etc. Some families named Black and Blackman also have Negroes, Grand Mason names as Niger, which 3 Negroes in the coat of arms. Negro protégés of the nobility, and there were a good many, as we shall see later, were sometimes christened Blackamoor, which, says Lower, comes from Blackamoor. He illustrated his point with 3 Negroes' heads. It seems safe to say, therefore, that certain prominent Englishmen, as Sir Richard Blackamoor, 1650 to 1729, noted physician and writer, had a Negro ancestor somewhere. The British Museum catalogue contains a number of writers so named. Burke, in his Encyclopedia of Heraldry, lists a number of Blackamoors. Blackamoor, 3 Moor's heads, Blackmore, Devonshire crest, a Moor's head, Blackmore, Reverend Richard Blackamoor, the same, Milton Bank Blackamoor, the same, Blackmore, 3 Moor's heads, Blackmore, London, 3 Moor's heads. Several Moor families in which Negro is used instead of Moor are also mentioned, as Moor in Scotland. C.W. Bardsley says, John the Moor suggests to us that at least the possibility that English heathlands did not enjoy the entire monopoly in the production of this familiar cognomen. The intensive blackamoor, a mere compound of black and moor, seems to have existed early. A Beatrice Blackamoor occurs in London Register of 1417. See also Riley, London, with such surnames as Simon Blackamore and Richard Blackamore. Hutching gives a Blackamore in northern Humberland in 1601. Weekly says that Blackamore is Blackamore and cites Beatrix Blackamore as another spelling of that name. 3 Negroes' heads. More, a Blackamore's head. More, 5 Negro heads. Blacker has 3 Moors' heads. Other variations of Blackamore are Black Muir, Black M-U-I-R, Black M-U-R, Black M-E-R. Negro favorites were also Christian black men and Blackie. Blackness of skin was their chief physical characteristic and the chief attraction to those who adopted him. Among families named Moore, M-O-O-R, or M-O-R-E, are some very distinguished ones as Sir Thomas More, great Lord Chancellor of Henry VIII, the author of Utopian. His coat of arms shows a thick-lipped Moor, clearly of Negro ancestry. His arms are also those of the Moors of Yorkshire. Another with the same is Sir John Moore, hero of Corunna. Among other Moors with Negro heads are those of London, Berkshire, Kent, Canterbury, Wiltshire, Suffolk, Derbyshire, Ireland, and many others, including some mentioned in Burke's peerage as the Earls of Drogheda. It is likely that some Negroes who reached England in the 15th or 16th centuries and became prominent also took Moors' heads in their coat of arms. One instance is probably John Morrison, son of the Moor, rich merchant of Edinburgh, who founded that family in 1609. His arms are 3 Moors' heads and 3 Saracens' heads. The Saracens in his coat of arms are white. It is highly possible that some Negro blood was also mixed in the Norman one, which is the last word in British blue blood. Lower says that the Morrises, M-O-R-R-I-C-E-S, the Fitz Morrises, F-I-T-Z-M-O-R-I-C-E-S, and the Mount Morrises, Mount M-O-R-R-I-C-E-S, all variations of Moor. They are supposed to be of Moorish blood, their progenitors having come from Africa by way of Spain into various countries of Western Europe. It is a well-known fact that the peculiar species of saltation called the Morris dance and several branches of magic lore were introduced to these centuries ago by natives of Morocco. The professors of these arts, enriching themselves by their trade, seem, in some instances, to have embraced Christianity and to have become founders of eminent families. Certain it is that several magnates bearing the name of Maurice, Fitzmaurice, and Mount Morris attended William the Conqueror in his descent upon England and acquiring lands settled in this country. In the Domesday Book, the great survey made in 1085 by order of William the Conqueror are to be found with the name Moor, or derivatives of Moor, as Morinus, Moritan, Mauritania, that is Mauritania or Morocco. The Earls and Dukes of Dorset used to call their Negro valets John Morocco. There's also a number of black men and black mer, another form of Blackmore. This is quite independent of the fact that the Anglo-Saxon for black and white sounded much the same. They were spelt the same, B-L-A-E-C, meaning absence of color. White, however, was accented. I am dealing with families named Black that had Negroes. Another important fact, There is good reason to believe that families with names as Negro, Moor, and their derivatives, but who do not have blacks in their coat of arms, had Negro ancestors. Also, still another proof of the presence of early Negroes in England is that the Morris dance, England's national dance, is of African origin. Also, still another proof of the presence of early Negroes in England is that the Morris dance, why do they call it Negro dance? Why do they call it Morris dance? Why do they just call it Negro dance if it's Negroes? Obviously, it wasn't Negroes if they're calling it Morris dance, and Morris is a derivative of Moor. England's national dance is of African origin. It might have been brought over by Moors with the Romans, and it seems certainly by the Moors with William the Conqueror in 1066. Sir John Hawkins, an earlier authority on music, says, "It is indisputable that this dance was the invention of the Moor." Taboro, another authority, says the same. Dr. Johnson's dictionary, 1755, says Morris dance, that is Moorish dance, M-O-O-R-I-S-H. Its Negro origin is further seen in that white dancers blackened their faces to dance it. The Moresca, says Paul Nettle, was originally a dance of the Negroes or Moors, and the pantomime of one of more Negroes in blackface. Then, quite generally, a masquerade or pantomime, and in particular, a play or song sketch in which Negroes took part. In the 7th century, any sort of masquerade was called Mouresque, M-A-U-R-E-S-Q-U-E, because the guise of the black man was the most important and popular, a phenomenon which points on the one hand to the significance of the black race of the aesthetic of life of the whites, on the other hand to the ancient habit of all Europeans to paint their face black on certain occasions of cult ritualism. He quotes Arbeau, French writer of the 16th century, who said that often in good society he would see a youth with blackened face do this dance. In the Italian Madrigal literature of the Renaissance, he says real Negroes were introduced. Real Negro minstrels, as was said, were popular at the Scottish court in London. At least later, they were as popular on the streets as Negroes were on those of Philadelphia in Franklin's time. White people blackened their faces, not only for the Morris dance, but because of attraction for dark skin. McRitchie says many British peoples of fair complexion were accustomed to blacken their faces artificially that they might better pass for Moors. To understand this fully, one must divest himself of all notions of the American dogma of color superiority. However, one finds a clear relationship in this darkening of the skin as that of the ancient Druids. With the tan, many white now try to acquire either by sun, lotion, or electric lamp. At one of Ben Jonson's masques giving at Whitehall, January 12, 1605, Queen Anne of England and her ladies blackened their faces and arms to the elbow. Moorish blood came into the English royal family also. Elizabeth, daughter of Edward IV and mother of Henry VIII, had several Moors in her family, among these Count More and Count Maurien. There is also an Almoravid, which says Turton is distinctly Moorish. The Almoravids were conquerors of Spain in 1086 AD and were largely Negroes. Moors in French, German, Dutch, and other European families. Families on the continent also have Negroes in considerable numbers in their coat of arms. There are 50 or more variations of the word Moor in European languages. There are 50 or more variations of the word Moor in European languages. One noted Dutch family is descended from Jan the Moor, who, note, Gottschalk, M. Deutsch, Namenkind, gives derivatives of Moor as Mohr, Neger, Morian, Morillo, Maurelius, Mohrentonih, Mohrenstechер, Morand, Morel, Morican, Morlot, Mormand, Mauriac, Maure, Murel, Maurice, Maurand, Maurant, Maury, Maurin, Mauritz, Moran, Morand, Morard, More, Moreau, Moreaux, Morellet, Moricaud, Morricard, Moricault, Morice, Moriceau, Moricet, Morillon, Morilot, Morize, Morland, Morot, Mory, Lemor, Lemorc, Negro, Negre, Noire, Negre, Negrel, Negret. 1895 gives many Moors in different ways. In Moors. In Holland and Germany, where Swart, Swarte, Swartz, Swartzman, that is black, there are families with such names with Negroes in their coat of arms. Belgium has several Moors, Moers, de Moors, a Moor van Immersel, and other Moors with Negroes. Some of these could have been Negroes in the army of Spain when the latter ruled the Netherlands. Poland has Mora. France has many families as Moret, Morel, Moricaud, Morot, Moreau, and many other derivatives of Moor, represented by Negroes. Le Noir, which is still used in France today for black man, was one of the great French families with branches in Anjou, Normandy, Brittany, and Beaune. Has a Negro. The family Negre, still used by the French for Negro, also has Negro. Italian families with variations of Moor, as Moretti, Morini, Morelli. This same is true for those with variations of Negro as Negrina, Negrona, Negra, Saracen. Negroes have been spelt in heraldry. Page 505 to 620 gives a list of noble families with Moor and derivatives of Moor, beginning with Jack the Moor and his descendants. Sir Thomas More. Fairbairn, Book of Cress, gives 45 families with figures described as Moors, Negroes, or Blackamoors in their coat of arms. All were named Moor, or derivatives of Moor, as Moore, Moorhead, Morison. A French proverb is a lever la tête d'un mort, which is the equivalent of the English to wash a blackamoor white. Maure, More is French, is exactly equivalent to Negro. For a list of derivatives of the English Moor, see Marshall's Genealogist's Guide, Volume 2, page 560 to 566. In the history of the three citrons in the Pentamorn of Basile, the black slave wife of Prince Tato is called Saracena. Wade says also, Moors or Moors are supposedly generally to refer to Saracens. That's Nature Knows No Color Line. Nature Knows No Color Line by Jean Augustus Rogers, J.A. Rogers. So if you think we aren't Moors and all that stuff, you have a screw loose. You need to go check yourself. You need to go give your brain, give your head a shake and stop the BS. Because everyone knows who we are except ourselves. Honors to all the Moors who know that they're Moors. Honors to all the Moors who study, and show themselves approved and know without a shadow of a doubt that we are Moors. And anything that anyone calls us relative is a derivative of Moor. There's the countdown. They're shadow banning right now. That's why you didn't get the notification. Peace and love to all the Moors. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to J.A. Rogers for putting out the truth. Honors to all the mothers out there. Honors to all you Moors in the chat. And honors to all Moors worldwide. Islam.